right one. I walk in like a bird, cold look, clear aim. You wanna smoke, I heard it. You talk big, all wordy, all bark, no bite. You can't win this fight. I seen your hand shake when the room got quiet. I don't need a threat, I bring it, then I write. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tick, tick, hear that whistle, step too close, get the missile. Blood in my eyes, stealing my jaw. Say my name once, then stand by the law. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah. You came for when you left with none. I'm the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't just a crowd, I let them come. I stare, hit hard like a loaded drum. You keep on talking, I keep on moving. Your chest gets loud, but your legs ain't proving. You want that title, you want that crown. I take one look and I shut it down. I cries when the flow gets mean. I came in clean, let the scene pristine. Tick, tick, hear that whistle, step too close, get the missile. Blood in my eyes, stealing my jaw. Say my name once, then stand by the law. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah. You came for when you left with none. I'm the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't bend, I don't break, I don't flinch, I don't fake. Every shot you throw just feeds my pace. Every lie you spit, I put back in your face. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah.
That's what this case is about. It's about the truth. Not hiding it or concealing it, but exposing the truth.
Yeah.
Don't let them get away with this. Do not endorse and sanction an investigation that is broken and corrupted top to bottom. That's why you stand as the guardian of justice and the protector of justice. And my question to you is, what will you do with this moment?
Hey, you did that, look at you go. Drop that down and now the whole room know. Big heart energy still in the show. You walk in and the whole place grows. Old school smile with a fresh new grin. Same sweet spot, let the chaos in. Cards on the table, you win again. Everybody turn when you step in. Hands up, look alive. You made the whole night rise. They've been waiting on your name. Now it burns through the frame. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You did that, and everybody knows. Turn up, toast to them, move. Let's fucking go. Big heart energy still in the show. Toast to them.
I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen.
TRUF. Truth.
He's the mirage in the rear view glass.
It's Ray from Dallas.
Was he here? Was he there? Was he ever mine?
Ray from Dallas?
Just a trick played by time.
This dude is savage as fuck.
Or just a dream?
What up, Ray from Dallas?
Ray from Dallas, tell me true.
He's fun.
Hi, Ray.
This appears to be a black man.
Ray from Dallas.
Shout out to everybody on here from that 214 to around the states to across the pond. Salute. You know, rocking with your guy, RFD, aka Ray from Dallas. And I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I appreciate everybody, right, who was in the building last night or who were able to catch that replay of the interview I did with Ocean. Shout out to her. Shout out to Kayla in the building. Shout out to Naughty Dog. Shout out to my guy Hellfish Haven, who just turned me up. So let's turn them up on that gangster lane. Man, salute to you, Hellfish, and thank you for your services too, sir, for this great country that we stay in, and every person who served, you know, thank you for your services. Hey, haven't had a chance to listen back to the Ocean interview. But I did get a lot of feedback, in the comments and throughout the show, right? And you know, the thing people were saying was she was going around the questions, all right? I'm not sure. I have to take a look back on it, right? But because I don't just want to put that jacket unless I see it. But a lot of people in the chat were saying that she was going around the questions. So for me right now, I haven't had the chance to look back. I think it was more of wanting to explain, and I get it. Right, this was a moment, right, where you got to go through that gauntlet, right, and Ocean had to do that, and I give her credit for that, right. You have to go through that gauntlet, this community is this community, and this community ain't gonna forget too much of nothing, right. So I can't wait to go back and catch it on replay. Man, everybody showed up and showed out last night. Man, that was amazing. Right, to see how the people, tuned in and was here. So I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but when I get a chance to listen to it and go back, then I'll give my sincere thoughts about the interview. Right? Like I say, it's tough. When you have to face that stage like that, but it's also tough when people hear different words that's coming, right? From individual, from Ocean, as they were saying. So, yeah. Um, I understand, but I'm never on her to attack anybody or nothing like that. I'm just on her to ask the questions. So we got to get to it because I want to talk about that a little bit more, but I'm having a little technical. So let me just play this Pretty Kooky real quick, Blue Curtains, and then we'll be right back through with that. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, my bad, y'all. I thought it was some music playing. Give me 1 second. Let me play this Pretty Kooky real quick. and then we're gonna get right to it. I'm sorry about that, y'all.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain.
Salute. Oh, let me check. I think I got two Ray from Dallas is up here. My bad. My bad, my people. Oh, what a blunder type of guy I am, right? Y'all gotta know that, Jack. But salute, salute, salute. Good morning. Shout out to the beautiful Kayla. She said I was catching up on the valid truth journey. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. You know, like I said, we had Ocean on her, right? Facing a tough crowd was tough, but you know, she stood tall. And, you know, questions out there lingering. A lot of people were saying she was going around the questions. I can't really give a tell on that until I go back and just take a listen to it myself. But, you know, a majority of the people were saying, oh, why she not answering the questions? That I'm telling y'all what was being said. Right? But like I said, I just got to go back myself, listen to it, and get my honest thoughts on it. Because I'm like this. Yeah, I give her props for not running away. That was ruthless, yep. But she get a lot of credit. And like I say, I can't speak for nobody but myself, right? And I get it. People feel how they want to feel, and y'all got every right to, and I can't tell y'all. Kayla said I was worried she would leave with how much they were going at her, but the price you pay for turning on the right, on the right. Sorry, yeah, that's what happened, you know. And she stood up and showed like character. You know, even though the chat was ruthless and, you know, people wasn't feeling it. I think that's an honest assessment, right? But I can say I did see some people in there who was feeling it and who was all the way with it. So of trying to hear out, and that's what I was there for, right? Like, you know, see what's going on, you know. Like she said, I'm right there on her because she reached out to me first. And I said, let's do this, right? Get out the way. Hopefully, Yeah, the right side been this side. She had turned on this side. Just didn't realize it was wrong. Not everyone cries and shows emotions the same. Got the emotion, yep. She got emotional a couple of times. She stayed strong most of it through, yep. She did. She did, Kayla, and I gotta give her credit for that. You know, it's hard to do, especially if you ain't never seen that type of wave. Like that wave came. So credit is credit. But I would, you know, like to see I knew it was a lot tonight, but I couldn't run from it to run to it, right? Also, yeah, I got that. And that's what we finna get to. And I'm glad you sent that too. Thank you so much, Kayla. And like I said, hope she enjoyed the interview. Right? She can send me her honest feedback. Right? It was a lot, especially when start talking about the wig. Oh man. But yeah, so let's get into this. Lindsay Clancy, McLean Psychiatrist. What did they know? And when? Let's take this walk. So I guess it was Miss Jennifer and Dr. Jennifer, Dr. Tubby, whatever. I think Mr. Monk told me the Dr. Tubby Dr. Tubby didn't work at the McLean Hospital. So I'm get that the way, but she was a psychiatrist there for 4 months. Right, and she haven't been cross-examined. But shout out to the beautiful lawyer Lee. We're going to get to her in a minute. But like I said, shout out to Kayla. Because this woman right here, who we finna look at right now, she's actually worked at McLean Hospital. Shout out to the beautiful Classic in the building. We on our Free Ricky stuff. Man, and we were saying Free Ricky last night with that big crowd. Classic, it was awesome. So let's get into this not the psychiatrist, but this one lady, I don't know her name, but she worked at McLean Hospital, and she's gonna tell us about it. Talk your shit, sweetheart.
I'm a Massachusetts social worker, and I also worked on the exact inpatient unit at McLean for nearly 8 years. I'm a Massachusetts social worker, and I also worked on the exact inpatient unit at McLean for nearly 8 years that Lindsay Clancy was a patient at. Very important, I was not there when she was there, but I literally worked there for 8 years. We need to correct the misinformation that this prosecutor is saying about McLean and what the stay there is like. So I'm gonna break down everything for you and tell you the truth. Let's preface this with identifying what the prosecutor's approach is with the McLean stay in particular. The prosecution is trying to say that if Lindsay really wanted to get better, why didn't she engage in treatment more? And then the prosecutor specifically talks about McLean, what's offered there, and identifies things that Lindsay did not participate in. And we need to correct that. Let me tell you how it actually works. So the first thing the prosecution brings up with Patrick Clancy is that he has stated that he felt like she didn't really get any treatment while she was at McLean. And one of the things that he was under the impression of was that she didn't really see a doctor while she was there. Now, the prosecutor then says to him, well, are you aware she actually saw a doctor each day and she saw a resident? Are you aware of that? And he says, no, I wasn't under that impression. Let me tell you exactly why that is. In general, there are around 23 patients on the unit at a time. And because of that, there are usually around 4 to 5 physicians in charge, we call them, 4 to 5 psychiatrists who split up the patients so that there's not just one doctor seeing 23 patients. Each doctor has usually around 5 to 6. They vary a little bit, but they are limited, and that 23 patient population is divided up and it's split amongst doctors. When a patient is admitted to the unit, they are specifically assigned 2 clinicians. One is a psychiatrist and the second is the social worker. You are literally told as a patient, this is your treatment team. This is your doctor. This is your social worker. With that being said, legally, every patient needs to be seen at least once a day by a doctor. So on the weekends and on the holidays, when the physicians in charge, the regular physicians who are working there, are off because they work weekday hours, on the weekends and on holidays, the patients still need to be seen by a doctor. How that works is that there is one doctor who comes on the weekend and holidays, and he or she sees every single patient on the unit, okay? And if you think about it, there's a reason that the doctors who are there during the week are only assigned 4 to 5 patients, because you cannot spend a long amount of time as a doctor with 23 different patients. So the job of the weekend doctor, as we call them, the holiday doctor, is literally to just go quickly check in with every patient. It is not a lengthy meeting by any means. So this idea of the prosecution saying, well, she actually did see a doctor, so that was kind of a lie. She saw a doctor. She didn't see her doctor. Now, moving on to the next part. The prosecutor also says to Patrick Clancy, well, are you aware that there is actually one-on-one therapy offered on the unit every day? This is what really pissed me off. There is absolutely no one-on-one therapy offered on that unit. What this prosecutor is referring to is what we literally call check-ins. And you know who does those check-ins? It is unlicensed individuals. This is a job where you only have to have a high school degree to get it. And I can say this because I did that job for 5 years. I was the clinician who was performing one-on-one therapy in her mind? No, I was doing check-ins. I did that job. So I promise you, this was not one-on-one therapy. I love my coworkers, and this is no disrespect to them. We were not people who were licensed or qualified in any way to give therapy, and we did not. And within these check-ins, I'm gonna tell you what the conversations are. How's your day? How'd you sleep? Have you been able to eat today? Have you been able to go to groups? What's your treatment plan? Have you talked to your family? What's your doctor saying? There are brief questions at the end where we say, are you feeling safe? They aren't safety assessments, let's be honest. You do check that little box, but I'm telling you, that's the line of questioning. It is not one-on-one therapy. Now let's talk about something the prosecutor brought up today. She brings up and tells Patrick Clancy, are you aware that, Lindsay was also checked on every 15 minutes by staff? Let me tell you what she's referring to. We literally call this checks, okay? And it's when we would go around on the unit every 15 minutes, staff has to go around the unit. And you know what your job is on 15-minute checks? You make sure everybody's alive. You make sure everybody's not, people try to commit suicide on the unit. And the 15-minute checks is not conversations. We're going around and we're literally checking off on a board. We saw this person. You put a check, you put an A if they're in bed, awake, and you put an S if they're asleep, and you put an O if they're off the unit. That's it. You're just going around. This isn't like check-ins. You're just visually putting eyes on them to legally indicate that they are okay. But this is not a check-in.
Oh my, that was a lot. And like the beautiful classic said, skeleton staff, right? She say, not high school degrees, and she say she's not trying to shit on nobody. She is telling the truth. We just ask these questions. They're doing a job, right? She's saying McLean don't do like these 2 prosecutors is saying she doing. She had to do 15-minute checks at the prison too, just to walk around and make sure everyone is breathing, right? And that bitch psychiatrist just read notes and handed the drugs. Ain't that some shit? Oh, we're gonna get into that. Let's finish this last part over her.
A board, we saw this person. You put a check, you put an A if they're in bed, awake, and you put an S if they're asleep, and you put an O if they're off the unit. That's it. You're just going around. This isn't like check-ins. You're just visually putting eyes on them to legally indicate that they are okay. But this is not a check-in. It's just, hello, I see you. So another thing the prosecutor brings up today, and again, I think this is from the idea of like, clearly Lindsay was well enough. She brings up how, are you aware that Lindsay was granted permission to, go off the unit, like go outside, right? And Patrick's like, well, yeah, I was aware, like she went for a walk, and the prosecutor's kind of like, so she was allowed to go out. And again, I think she's trying to be like, if she was allowed to go outside, clearly she was okay. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. 75% of the patients who are admitted to the unit, within 2 days get granted that permission. Sometimes it's the day they get there. The only patients who don't get granted that permission, and especially quickly, are the ones who are acute safety concerns. Those are patients who can't be trusted, in a sense, to not try to harm themselves if they leave the unit. There are patients who are flight risks, and they can't be granted the permission to go off the unit. So this idea of like, well, Lindsay was granted that permission, it really doesn't have much meaning, because if I'm being honest, everybody is granted that position unless you are really actively doing something to yourself. So like, this isn't that deep. Now the prosecution starts talking about the discharge piece at McLean, and it does sound like Lindsay asked to be discharged. And the obvious thing to like think about is like, why would she want to stay on the unit any longer when she's not getting any help? It is logical to ask to be discharged. And she was discharged, she wanted to go to one of her children's birthday parties. And her asking to discharge to be able to go to her kid's birthday is a completely normal thing that people get discharged for. Birthdays, graduations, funerals, bigger events that people want to be a part of, that is good for them to be a part of. If the person is deemed safe, which I'll get back to, the team is usually happy to allow that. So her asking to be discharged for her kid's birthday is not abnormal. It's very normal. And I also think it is indicative of her wanting to be a mom, which, is the opposite of what this prosecution is trying to say. All right, now my last and most important part. Even though Lindsay asked for discharge and it was granted, McLean failed her. These outpatient, I'm sorry, Dr. Jennifer Tufts, I mean, I'll say it. We know the name, but I think that woman needs to lose her license. I'm going to be straight up. McLean needs to be held accountable. They did clearly not do their proper assessment when they granted her discharge. I'm going to be straight up, okay? And I'm going to say that as somebody who's worked on that unit and had to approve discharge. You are a well-trained mental health professional. You know when you are assessing a woman with postpartum mental health, you need to be doing a damn good job of making sure that she's not going to go hurt her kids because of where she's at in her mental health. And I don't think McLean did a proper assessment. I don't think they asked any questions about the kids. A lot of times when you're discharging from this unit, it's about, are you going to go hurt yourself? And she was suicidal. So she should have had a suicide assessment. But knowing that this is postpartum, I do believe that McLean failed her by not doing a better assessment about where she was at with her kids. I don't care that I worked there. I don't care that I respect the hospital. I respect a lot of the clinicians there, but no program is immune from clinicians who aren't doing their job properly. And her asking to discharge, it's on the clinicians. They let her go. We are held to a specific criteria to let patients go. They failed her. I know this is a long ass video, but I felt it important to give literally firsthand perspective. I'm watching this case, listening to this prosecutor just lie and gaslight, and I'm enraged at the lies that you're telling. I mean, in general, but specifically at McLean, I'm like, I know that what you're saying isn't fucking true because I did it. I was there for 8 years on that exact unit. Like I said, how are there 2 female prosecutors prosecuting this case? It's beyond me. It's sickening. It's traumatizing. This woman doesn't want to be alive. And all that this case is doing is further traumatizing. If you guys don't care about Lindsay, fine. I do, but let's look at the other people. This is traumatizing Patrick Clancy further. This is traumatizing an entire jury. Can you imagine? These are just civilians doing their, civilian duties and doing jury duty. And there's such a thing as vicarious trauma. And that's when you're traumatized by somebody else's trauma. And this shit is dark. The prosecutors need to show these onesies, and we know the kids are not here anymore. All it is torturing, this family over and over again. And I think it's abomination. I think it is awful. And I don't know how these prosecutors sleep at night, if I'm honest. The only positive reframe I can think is that this better be a marker in history. Shit needs to change with women's mental health. And I think everybody's waking up with this. I know there's a lot of people who are just kind of assholes and they're just like, she's a monster. But I've seen a lot of a switch of people being like, what the fuck? So these healthcare, clinicians need to be held responsible. It's them at the end of the day. And this is a fucking tragedy.
Exactly, like she stated, it was a lot, right? It was a lot. And one thing we're gonna know in this video that Dr. Tubbs, who they talking about, who they say looked over her for 4 months, right? She hasn't been cross-examined yet. But the other doctor did today, and shout out to the defense attorney Reddington. Man. Like I say, I be impressed by seeing lawyers, who do different type of tactics and what they do. And through this video, you're going to see the tactics that Reddington used on cross-examination against this first lady who knew nothing. And like Classy say, I'd be more worried if she didn't care about her child's birthday facts. And also, we know the cries out for help. We know how she was saying that she wasn't getting her programs and how people weren't checking on that, how she was turning them down. We know about that. And like I said, these doctors and these psychiatrists are now needing to be held accountable. Not to the doctor, if you call, that I know these people go through medical school, get the paperwork, but it don't mean they're good. That job she felt this family and the young lady. I agree 100% with that. And this is crazy because this is a sensitive subject because 3 children are gone, right? And we know that Lindsay Clancy did it. But is it criminal or did she have a psychotic moment? And I say psychotic moment. There's too many areas in this case that's green. Husband going out of town, mom and daddy skipping, a weekend one day, husband going out of town, him going with his friends. He's not to blame. But the cries was there. What's the plan? He said, when she said, I'm thinking about, in your mind, you don't think something like that's going to happen. But in this case, God rest their soul, it happened. Yeah, she didn't even know about the thyroid issues. Man. But this is nasty work, right? And these doctors got to be held accountable. We can't just keep letting them come in here and just be the scapegoats. Especially, they signed up for this, right? Nobody didn't put nothing to them and threaten them and say, oh, you got to do this. This is your job. So let's get this started. And if y'all want to support the channel, Cash App at the top. I appreciate everybody in the building.
We are finally getting to the real point of this case, the issue that will ultimately determine whether Lindsay Clancy is guilty of murdering her 3 children. Hi, y'all. I'm Lawyer Lee, and thanks for watching. Today was day 9 of the trial. Lindsay says that she was in psychosis when her 3 children were killed. And the prosecution is essentially making 2 arguments. First, they say Lindsay wasn't in postpartum psychosis at all. That psychosis is just an explanation that came later for what was actually a deliberate, premeditated act. But they also have a backup argument. Even if Lindsay was experiencing some form of psychosis, that does not automatically mean she's off the hook. The prosecution says Lindsay still knew that what she was doing was wrong and had the substantial capacity to conform her behavior to the law. In other words, do the right thing, and she chose not to. Today, though, the focus was on that first question. Was Lindsay Clancy actually psychotic? And for that, the prosecution brought Lindsay's own psychiatrist. One treated her while she voluntarily admitted herself to McLean Hospital about 4 weeks before the children were killed. The other treated Lindsay for 4 months and actually saw her on the day before the children died. Both doctors said they saw no psychosis. That is potentially extremely powerful evidence for the prosecution. But the first psychiatrist then faced an absolutely blistering cross-examination and a lot of questions about what McLean actually knew about Lindsay and about her condition. And the second psychiatrist may ultimately be even more important, but we only have half that story right now. It's strong, but the defense has not had its time for cross-examination yet. And I suspect that is going to be one unbelievable cross-examination. Now, one other thing happened today that I know a lot of you are going to be asking about. The defense raised the allegation that someone on the prosecution side made a comment during the autopsy testimony. Lindsay was crying hysterically at that time during the autopsy testimony. It was a hot mic moment, something no one expected to be picked up, where someone said, according to the defense, shut her up. It was an allegation that came from TikTok and made its way into the courtroom. Now, the defense lawyer and the judge had more than one run-in today, and this was one. I listened to the audio, that hot mic moment. I can hear the word shut and conceivably shut up. I personally don't hear shut her up. And from the video, there is no way to tell who made the comment. So that's apparently also what the judge figured, because he made a generalized statement to the entire courtroom after there was discussion about this between the attorneys and the judge. And he said, look, there are cameras everywhere. If anyone makes an inappropriate comment, you're out of here for the duration.
Yeah, so I'm going to say I don't know what was exactly said. You had some people saying, they said shut her up, shut it off. Whatever it was, I can't say clearly, but I can't say that they were saying shut her up. We have to be honest about that assessment. Like I said, one doctor came, was treating her for 4 months. The Dr. Tubbs, who's, you're going to see the prosecution, talk to her at the end, but she ain't been cross-examination. And you heard Lawyer Lee, she said it's going to be fascinating. Because there's a lot of holes, right? It's a lot of holes, and through this case, my mind changed one time. And that's when I seen Reddington cross-examine Patrick Clancy, and like I said, my condolences to him. But that's another story. But I truly believe this woman had a psychotic moment. I truly believe that her cries out for help were neglected. It was negligence there. Postpartum is real. Oh, remember I said that postpartum is real, right? Because y'all gonna see that this first doctor, when she started talking, this is her first damn time dealing with somebody like this. Are you kidding me? Let's continue.
No yellow card is how he put it. So with that out of the way, I now want to dive into the absolutely critical testimony that is going to make or break the criminal case against Lindsay Clancy. The first psychiatrist we heard from was Dr. Aaliyah Goodhart. She treated Lindsay in McLean Hospital when Lindsay voluntarily admitted herself to a mental health institution on New Year's Eve/New Year's Day. It was about 4 weeks before the children were killed. Now, Dr. Goodhart explained that Lindsay did not appear to be in psychosis. She did not seem to be a risk to herself or to others. It was powerful evidence for the prosecution, but the most important question turned out to be whether the witness could stand up to cross-examination. The cross by defense attorney Reddington was blistering, and the chat where I was watching seemed to, in general, not entirely, but in general, believe that the defense came out on top during the cross-examination. We're going to listen to some clips together tonight. You can decide for yourself what you think. You know, the defense position is that the care Lindsay got while she was in McLean Hospital was terrible. It was understaffed because of the holiday. The prosecution says the real problem is that Lindsay insisted on leaving early. She wanted to get home in time for her daughter's birthday party, and the doctor would have liked to have had more time to evaluate how she was doing and how it was going when she was taken off some medications. The prosecution also suggested that Lindsay may have given her doctor some misinformation, but as I said, cross-examination. On cross, the doctor admitted that the hospital did not do any checking to see whether Lindsay was giving them the complete story. They listened to Lindsay, they talked to Patrick apparently only once, and that was it. They just accepted what Lindsay said as true, and the defense says that means they missed some pretty important information. For example, according to their records, Lindsay told them she had never considered unaliving herself. And the doctors believed that. But then the defense attorney asked this line of questions.
Hoes. I agree with what you said, Zach. Yes, I absolutely believe she had a severe mental anguish. I also think everyone's responsible for their own actions. So this is a tough case. It is. It is. Right. But this case all around, they failed her. The doctors didn't know that she said that she was having them type of thoughts. Are you kidding me? This is disgusting. Reddington, 75 years old. Kayla say, she had more than a psychotic moment. That's what made me believe her case. Yeah, agreed. I said, I don't think most of the questions were silly and trying to defend the lawsuit which is coming. Yeah. I agree. Now, Reddington, 75 years old, man, he the truth. Let's get to it.
But then the defense attorney asked this line of questions.
How many times did she call or reach out to help for a suicide hotline?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be something important to find out if the person who you're suggesting was denying suicidality or suicidal ideation upon your evaluation that she called out to suicide hotlines?
She told us that she was having suicidal thoughts,
right,
but had no intent or plan. So I do know that she was struggling with suicidal ideation.
Right. Anybody else that you talked to? Or did you talk to anybody else?
I know the social worker, Dr. Patrick, and he did give the information he gave.
So what I'm asking is, as you're investigating the history of this patient, you're not aware, no idea that she had reached out on not one but two occasions to a suicide hotline. Is that correct?
Yes.
Other than that information, The defense said they really had pretty much nothing. And what the result was that the doctor failed to understand just how severe Lindsay's condition was. For example, they didn't really get just how severe her insomnia was. This wasn't just not sleeping well.
Did you know that when she was first prescribed the Zoloft by Dr. Tufts at 25 milligrams, then increased to 50 milligrams, that she then reported that she was unable to sleep?
She shared that with us. Yes.
It's just that she reported that she went for 48 hours without sleep?
I don't remember that time quoted. I know she had difficulty sleeping.
The reason that point is so important is not just because the defense is trying to say that Lindsay had a really severe problem. It's also because the defense thinks this was a missed signal, that the fact that Lindsay was having such an extreme reaction to Zoloft could have been a signal to doctors who were paying attention that Lindsay actually had bipolar disorder. That would mean that the medications she was being given were not only not going to help her, they were actively making her worse. The doctor admitted that even though Lindsay was in a mental health hospital, the hospital just assumed she was telling the truth. They accepted what she told them about her mental health history, about her medications, about whether she was taking them and how much. They didn't do any outside checking. The defense also...
They didn't do any outside checking. Kayla say she admitted it. It's not like she was sectioned at a hospital. A person who is normal is not going to admit themselves into a mental facility. Like Clay said, exactly. And Kay say, ma'am, do people who are suicidal actually kill themselves? Exactly. Hold up. Wait a minute. Ooh, wee. I got to put some SM in it. Shout out to SM. I ain't lying to y'all, boy. Whoever SM is, because I'm just saying the initials. When I tell y'all, they just turned me up on that cash out. So I got to turn them up real quick. Man, shout out to my guy Steve Moore. I knew that was him. I just don't want to say nobody's name if they don't want their name to be said. But Steve, thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. Right. And I can't wait to talk about basketball this year, coach. And Steve said, I know the Clancy family. Oh my. It's a terrible situation. And listen, y'all, Reddington came out on fire. Did you know about her making these suicidal calls? The doctor like, no, I don't know shit. You incompetent ass doctor. You don't know what? What about the Zoloft and her saying it's not giving her sleep? Did you know about that? No, I don't know shit. It's basically what she's saying. And this is the doctor that they got in McLean Hospital. So you think that lady that worked there for 8 years, it ain't no merit to what she's saying? Oh my God, I'm sorry, Steve. Like, this is what I'm talking about right here. Right? Terrible situation. Ask Kayla. First day, I was convinced that Lindsay did this. But when I heard Reddington come up and cross-examine Patrick, it made more sense to me. That's why they say, keep an open mind. You got the right to change it once the evidence is presented. Damn. Sorry to hear that. Oh, wait. Yeah, like Classic say, it's heartbreaking, no wins. Kayla say, okay, oh, Kayla, I'm so sorry to hear that. Jesus. Oh, wait, wait. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Kayla. Jeez. And it's heartbreaking. No one wins. This ain't about cheering for no side. This is about the mode, the means, and opportunity. If you trying somebody criminal, you have to convince with 100% reasonable doubt that that person did it. We know she did it, but the reasons is different. And this prosecution, it's this is my opinion, right? I don't know what the jury is thinking. Because like the beautiful Classic said earlier, man, the jury gonna need some type of help for the trauma that they have to sit through and witness this. The clothes that they seen the last kid since the walk through the house. This is serious. Let's continue, y'all.
Checking. The defense also went through a series of questions designed to make the jury wonder whether this particular psychiatrist was really qualified to answer questions about Lindsay's mental health. For example, the doctor said she had treated patients with postpartum depression, but...
How many patients have you treated, how many women have you treated that were suffering from postpartum psychosis?
I don't recall. I don't remember, but I think it would stick in my memory, so I don't think that I probably have.
So the defense says, look, she had never even treated a woman with the condition we believe that Lindsay Clancy had. She had never treated a person who had postpartum psychosis.
Yeah, Steve say, I don't even really watch it because I believe her story and I'm with you. But did y'all just hear that? Shout out to Attorney Reddington, man. That dude right there is, boy, you but to give your props what props is due. All right. So we just found out that this woman said, I can't recall, but I'm pretty sure if something like that happened, it'll be in my head. So I think I never did it. Excuse me, Dr. Gohart? What did you say? Hold up. Let's listen to this again.
Checking. The defense also went through a series of questions designed to make the jury wonder whether this particular psychiatrist was really qualified to answer questions about Lindsay's mental health. For example, the doctor said she had treated patients with postpartum depression, but...
How many patients have you treated, how many women have you treated that were suffering from postpartum psychosis?
I don't recall. I don't remember, but I think it would stick in my memory, so I don't think that I probably have.
So the defense says, look, she had never even treated a woman with the condition we believe that Lindsay Clancy had. She had never treated a person who had postpartum psychosis.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Renton, how many women have you treated for postpartum? Crickets, 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 crickets. Oh, I don't recall. I don't remember. I think something like that will stick out in my brain if I did something like that. All right? ridiculous. She deserves to lose her license immediately. It's the first time in this case I'm saying the prosecution should be ashamed of themselves. Right? On live here. Right? Because this is ridiculous. This is a travesty. They brought this woman to the stand who never, ever dealt with a woman. So what experience do she got to come up here and provide to the fucking jury, ladies? What were you thinking? Was your back itching and you needed the scratch to jump out there and present this? This is ridiculous. Let's continue. I'm sorry, y'all.
Defense also asked questions that frankly were a lot less important than that one, but that still made the doctor look bad. Several of them revolved around the DSM. Now, the DSM is the manual that psychiatrists use that lists symptoms that they use to diagnose patients. So here are some questions that the defense asked.
And that would be DSM, it means Diagnostic Statistical Manual, right?
Yes.
And it started out with DSM-1, then it went to 2, then it went to 2R, meaning revised, and then there were a number of revisions, and now we're all the way up to DSM-5, correct?
Yes.
And DSM-5, also the most recent would be -TR. What does TR mean?
I don't actually know.
Now, that sounds bad. Here's DSM, an incredibly important manual that anyone in her field ought to know. But she did know that and did know it was up through 5. It turns out the TR just stands for text revision. So it's not necessarily something anyone would really pay attention to. But how did it look? It made it look like she didn't really know her stuff. She didn't even know her field. And the impression got even worse when the defense asked Dr. Goodhart about Lindsay's specific condition.
So here we are in 2026, not 1928. Is postpartum depression in the DSM?
I think it's a subcategory.
You think it's a subcategory of what?
Depression.
Depression. How about psychosis? Postpartum psychosis in 2026. Is that in this manual?
I don't exactly know where it is.
Have you ever seen it in this manual?
I don't recall paying attention to where it's categorized.
Now, the reason that starts to look bad and is that apparently it's not in the DSM, but there is a movement, a push to add it to the DSM. And it made it sound as if the doctor was unaware of this. Here's how the next questioning.
That's why he good at what he do. Right, because the medical field is real important. And like I said, my condolences to Kayla and Steve on y'all losses. Right. Steve, my heart goes out there to you, man, about, your parents and that being in the hospital and how you lost your faith. I get it. And I want to send my sincere condolences. Sir and Kayla, the tragic that you had to see and go through and witness. I send my sincerest condolences. So you should think about how Lindsay would be treated in women's prison. She wouldn't make it to 50, put her somewhere where she could be treated properly and maybe live decently. I agree. Because say if I walked into a hospital and saw that lady, I'd walk straight at her. I agree. She wouldn't have any treatment in prison. And he said, appreciate you. My mom died in 2014 and dad in 2021. And I sent my condolences, sir. This is ridiculous. He throwing questions at her that she should be able to know. This is the medical field. A lot of people have been affected. Look at Steve on her telling us how this has affected him. Because you have doctors in place like this who don't know shit. And he presented this to the jury to show how she don't know shit when she should know that like the ABCs and her 1, 2, 3s. This is ridiculous. Let's continue.
To add it to the DSM, and it made it sound as if the doctor was unaware of this. Here's how the next questioning went.
Have you read anything about the efforts being made to have the DSM-6 coming out include?
Objection.
No, overruled. Postpartum psychosis?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Have you read or are you aware of efforts being made to include postpartum psychosis in the DSM-6 that will be coming out within a couple of months?
I think it's clear that there is question about where it should be placed or categorized.
Okay, so are you aware of any efforts being made to include postpartum psychosis in the DSM-6 when it comes out?
Vaguely.
This questioning made it look like the doctor, at a minimum, is not at the forefront of doctors who know about what the defense says is Lindsay's exact condition. The cross-examination also made it look like McLean had done very little to figure out what was wrong with Lindsay Clancy. They drew blood, but they didn't even test it to see whether she was having thyroid issues. And the thyroid apparently can be impacted by pregnancy. Even worse, they used a thyroid measurement from years earlier, and based on that, assumed that her thyroid was normal.
Like Kayla just said, nothing, not a titi, nada, Nathaniel. She knew nothing. She knew not a motherfucking thing, right? And speaking of thyroids, this right here really fucked me up about this so-called lead doctor who's getting presented to the jury as if she don't know shit. And this is what the prosecution ran with. You sick fucking weirdo women. See, this is what gets me angry because this is in Massachusetts, y'all. Right. And the people who I rock with in Massachusetts, this ain't to you. Y'all know who y'all is. But this is why motherfuckers looking at Massachusetts like a fucking joke. Plenty of cases out there you should pay attention to, but ain't paying attention to them. What is this? You got them fucking people who was out at 34 Fairview still running scot-free. What is this? And Steve say, completely with my daddy took them a year to figure out he had Agent Orange, but they didn't know how to look for it. And when they figured it out, he died. I'm so sorry, Steve. I'm so sorry. And class like, fuck, I'm getting angry. And that's overstood why you getting angry. And like Kayla said, these doctors should have to be tested every time a new DSM comes out and see if they have researched it and learned it, especially when it's directly linked to patients. You see, talk your shit, Kayla. But I'm telling you, like, too many people who can talk that shit like Kayla. And this is no gaslight. She knows her shit. The DSM, because I didn't know nothing about that. All right. Shit, I ain't know nothing about what the fuck what that dude got caught in the case what really broke it, where he lied about how he was going to college at Oklahoma or something. I didn't know nothing about that until they exposed that son of a bitch on the stand. This is dangerous. And this is cruelty. at its finest, right? Classic, I was awake till 3 a.m. last night because I Classic, I'm with you 100%. Because this is the doctor who don't know shit that these prosecutors put online. Y'all should be ashamed of your damn self, ladies. Every other fucking job has a requirement training when new shit comes out. If you work on computers, you got to learn the new software. The psych doctors, they should have to revisit the shit regularly. They should. And see, this is a problem right here. Right. This is the doctor who was in the hospital with her. She said she seen no signs. Yeah, just like you don't know about the fucking DSM. Yeah, just like this is your first fucking time dealing with a person who had postpartum. You goofy ass fucking doctor. And this is who the prosecution put on the stand. Are you kidding me? Kayla said the medical field is ever changing. The more we learn daily, if you aren't willing to research, get a new fucking job. But talk that shit, Kayla. This is what the prosecution told. This should make everybody fucking angry. Not this lady that they went Attorney Resin asked her, have you ever been with how many people have you been with dealing with postpartum? Crickets. I don't remember. She said I can't recall. I don't remember, something like that would be in my head. So I would have to say, no, I didn't. We didn't need all that extra ass shit. Dr. Gohart, with your Eddie Monster haircut. We didn't need all that extra shit. You know damn well this was your first time. So how the fuck is you qualified to tell us the fucking signs? Right? Yeah, the bitch did pause for so long. So Taylor said, I research psychiatrist. I'm not even a fucking doctor. Just to understand this case. And Lindsay, exactly. The bitch paused. I thought right blunt the clip, right? Right? This is crickets. Oh, let's continue. This is disgusting. And Clay said, I grill doctors, laugh out loud. But my daughter nearly died when she was just under 2 years old. Luckily, I fought for her. She needed the pacemaker mode. Old, classic, old. Oh, that hurt my heart. But I'm so happy that you got that I can't, and you don't got that I can't and I quit. Right? Nearly under 2 years old. Fucking stupid ass doctors. The pause was brutal, yep. She wanted to say yes, but knew she would get caught in a lie. Oh my God, Steve, talk that shit. Cause she was like, you experience in having Eddie Monster haircut, don't know shit, fucking stupid ass doctor. This is diabolical. Let's continue.
That assumed that her thyroid was normal.
Did you look at the thyroid reads?
It was one of the labs that I would have reviewed.
You would have reviewed. Okay, as you're sitting here today, do you have any memory about what the thyroid reads were?
It was within normal limits.
And that would be coming from how long before? A year, 2, 3?
I don't remember.
So there were no actual thyroid tests done while she was at the hospital at McLean, right?
No.
It may not have been that was medically required, but it began a series of things that made it look like the hospital wasn't really looking closely at Lindsay Clancy's condition. One of the things the doctor was asked about was the fact that the hospital did no psychiatric testing of her at all. Not even testing you would assume would be extremely relevant.
What is the Edinburgh the EPDS or something like that? What is that?
It's a scale.
A scale. What kind of a scale?
It's a postpartum scale for depression.
And it's used by psychiatrists and psychologists to evaluate the risk factor of a woman who is involved with postpartum, right?
I think it's to assess the level of depression.
In a woman who's involved with postpartum, was that administered to Lindsay when she was in for the 4.5 days that she was in your hospital?
No.
Why not?
Because we don't necessarily administer scales.
You don't necessarily what?
We don't administer scales. The psychiatrist makes the diagnosis based on the presentation, the history of the patient.
The defense is saying if they didn't really test her and this particular doctor doesn't really know about her condition, how much can we really rely on her thinking about what was wrong with Lindsay Clancy? The defense also poked holes.
How much can we rely on this Eddie Monster haircut having woman? Thyroids? Oh, y'all didn't do that? Y'all did something years back? Are you kidding me? What is this I'm looking at, y'all? What the fuck is this I'm looking at? Is this the head doctor in charge at McLean Hospital? She has went fucking psycho nuts. It's for depression. Renton Esna is not for postpartum. It's for depression. Man, I'm sorry, Steve. You said my dad was in the hospital for 14 days. Man, my condolences to you for real, sir. My 2-month-old son died from RSV in November 2019 before COVID hit. Doctor said it was just a cold. I had him like 2 times the week he died. Oh, my condolences, Kayla. Oh, we. Oh, we. That hit hard. That hit hard. All of these situations. Doctors ain't perfect like people ain't perfect. But it has to be accountability because I'm sick of this shit. Like classic, not my condolences, man. We appreciate you so much for what you did, for standing up, not letting them refuse you. She said every doctor thought I was a overprotective mom. The hospital told us she would have only survived another week or 2. So I've had a few confrontations with docs, man, and man, I wish I would. Do y'all hear that? They told Classic that her daughter only had 1 or 2 weeks to live. These idiot fucking doctors. Oh my. Ooh. Oh my. Y'all see that? 1 or 2 weeks. They told Classic that, these fucking doctors. If Classic didn't stand up and stand on 10 and say, fuck what you doctors talking about, y'all ain't, think about the 1 or 2 weeks. And it's years past later now. Look at the moment that she had. This is real. This is personal. You know, for everybody, right, who done been involved with bullshit doctors. This personal. I'm so sorry. This is personal. You know, I'm not saying doctors don't deserve to get paid good, but I stand on this. Teachers, military, people in the military, they deserve more. How do doctors become doctors? Talk to me. How do doctors become doctors? Through our teachers. I'm not saying teachers are perfect, but why teachers can't be compensated like that? And I get it. The coach told me that they public workers, but I get that. But that don't matter to me, which I know is true, but it's that they should be paid. Teachers create these doctors and stuff. Teachers have to struggle. I know teachers who have to get part-time jobs in the summer, right? Because the checks stop, they get unemployment, but it ain't the same amount. Military workers, I tell people this story. I work, for a company who will finance and give people houses. Had military people call. Why do military people have to pay taxes? Why do it take them 10 or 20 years to get 100% disabled so they don't have to pay that tax that they shouldn't have to pay for fighting for our country? Why? Why do we make it so hard for our fucking veterans? Why? Why? Shout out to class. She say, my daughter is 21 years old now, but she was hospitalized 3 years ago with RSV. That's scary. That is scary. And she going to forever stay in our prayers. And MA teachers don't get unemployment. Oh, my God. See, that makes it even worse, right? That makes it even worse. And this is real shit. Look at what the fuck we going through. Now, you have to understand, I wasn't a great child in school. Like, it was a lot of people who weren't great childs in school, but we had our great moments. The teacher had to deal with our crazy asses, personality, bougie asses, can't tell me nothing asses. Oh, I'm a jock. They got to deal with all of that. And this is the fucking thanks they get. Can't get over that. And this doctor, right, who's probably getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, right? Yeah, and Clay, that's why I say Lindsay did everything to help herself, and no one took her seriously. That's just the truth. This isn't the point blame. Like I said, the truth is the truth. And Classic just said it. All right? They used her thyroid picture. She didn't even do that. You fucking doctor, why is you getting paid the money you getting paid? She should be fired after this. Let's continue.
About what was wrong with Lindsay Clancy. The defense also poked holes in the idea that Lindsay was the one pushing to get out of the hospital, that it was Lindsay's fault that she went home too early.
At the end of Lindsay's treatment at the hospital, she was discharged, ultimately, correct?
Yes.
And that was not against medical advice, was it?
No.
Dr. Goodhart was just the first of two doctors the prosecution put on the stand today. The second, Dr. Tufts, was the psychiatrist who treated Lindsay from September through January on an outpatient basis. She made some important points for the prosecution, but the defense has not yet cross-examined her, so we don't know how she'll stand up on cross-examination. Here is what she said.
Okay. Let me hear that one more time.
About what was wrong with Lindsay Clancy. The defense also poked holes in the idea that Lindsay was the one pushing to get out of the hospital, that it was Lindsay's fault that she went home too early.
At the end of Lindsay's treatment at the hospital, she was discharged, ultimately, correct?
Yes.
So they pushed that it was Lindsay's fault that she wanted to go home early. Y'all are the fucking professionals. You goofy ass people. So blame it on her. The one who had suicidal thoughts that people know about. The one who said that she'll harm her children, which came to reality, and God bless their soul, that people knew about. These stupid ass prosecution ladies, right? Because this is stupid. Ladies, y'all are ignorant as fuck for bringing that woman to the stand, because she did you a terrible disjustice if you think just because she coming in and saying she didn't see this, she don't know shit. And that's clear cut, no debating. What the fuck type coffee was y'all drinking on when y'all thought this was a good fucking idea? You lawyers should be fucking reprimanded for bringing this, knowing that you had this doctor that was going to come up here and say she don't know shit. Shout out to the beautiful U.S. Lily in the building. Love you, Miss Lily. So good to see you last night. And thank you, too, for last night. Thank you so much. Hey, professionals. But how professional can she be? If this was her first time dealing with a woman who had postpartum, I don't recall, I don't remember, something like that would be in my mind, but it's not in my little cuckoo bird, so I would say this is the first time. You stupid motherfucker. You knew this was the first time. Oh, for sure, Jan C. Thank you. No, exactly. Like I said, everybody, this freedom of speech over here, right? You know, and, you know, shout out to Kayla, man. That's why I love her to death. Well, Kayla is the truth, y'all. I'm telling y'all, she is the truth. She is the truth. Shout out to Kay. She is the truth. And I love and appreciate Kayla so much. Lindsay, they want to blame it on the patient who had suicidal thoughts. The patient who had thoughts of harming her kids, which came to reality. The nerve. The nerve. And real quick, y'all, I ain't going nowhere. Just want to take a quick break. And everybody, if y'all want to support the channel, I go to the new cash app at the top. We're just going to take a quick break, turn up the pretty cookie, and just know everything. If y'all help me go to the channel, help me go a long way. Let me turn up real quick.
That's what this case is about. It's about the truth. Not hiding it or concealing it, but exposing the truth. Don't let them get away with this. Do not endorse and sanction an investigation that is broken and corrupted top to bottom. That's why you stand as the guardian of justice and the protector of justice. And my question to you is, what will you do with this moment?
Hey, you did that, look at you go. Drop that down and now the whole room know. Big heart energy still in the show. You walk in and the whole place grows. Old school smile with a fresh new grin. Same sweet spot, let the chaos in. Cards on the table, you win again. Everybody turn when you step in. Hands up, look alive. You made the whole night rise. They've been waiting on your name. Now it burns through the frame. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You did that, and everybody knows. Turn up, toast to them. Let's fucking go. Big heart energy still in the show. Toast to them.
I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Talk that shit, GOAT. And like Kayla said, we still friend the GOAT. All day, every day. Free Rick Allen, all day, every day. Right? We for the bullshit, injustice, and corruption all day, every day. And justice for Christina all day, every day. And like Jen, she said, I'm very unhappy with the facility not requiring her husband to get a med box before discharge, given her history of SI. Oh, GNC, talk that. Talk that, GNC. Talk that. Talk that, GNC. Right? They need to be held accountable. Prosecution, ladies, y'all brought this stupid ass Dr. Gohart on the stand, right? I ain't seen it ain't no cross-examination of the other lady yet. This is just the prosecution finna holler at her real quick. But I heard Lawyer Lee, and which I think she is great. She's saying the defense and lawyer attorney Reddington, the defensive attorney, he is going to get at her on cross-examination. So let's continue with her.
Examination. Here is what she said, and so far it's very helpful for the prosecution. Dr. Tufts said that Lindsay, for the entire 4 months she treated her, had no signs or symptoms of being in psychosis.
What types of things are you looking for to see if someone's experiencing psychosis?
So there are a number of things. They start with how the patient appears. So some signs of psychosis might be that they appear disheveled. I assess what their attitude is, if they might be agitated or very uncooperative. That's a red flag. I will assess what their speech is like. Is it very loud? Is it very fast? Or sometimes it could be the opposite, where they're not really even speaking at all. I assess what their mood is like, what they're saying that they're feeling, and how they appear visually. I assess what their thoughts are like. So are their thoughts disorganized, where it's really hard to understand? They're jumping around and you can't follow their line of thought. I assess what the thought content is. If it's particularly about anything very bizarre or very paranoid, that would be potentially indicative of psychosis.
And you conducted that type of evaluation on Lindsay Clancy in that first meeting, is that correct?
Yes, that assessment is done with every patient.
And did you note any signs or symptoms of psychosis with Ms. Clancy that day?
No.
Now, the list you just heard, the questions about how did the person look, were you able to understand what they said? Did they understand what you said? That's pretty much what the prosecution has asked now a dozen witnesses. Could they understand Lindsay? Could she understand them? Did she look normal? Did she seem normal? But is that the standard for figuring out whether a person is actually in psychosis? The doctor said yes. I think the defense will disagree. We're going to find out. Dr. Tufts also gave...
Is that the standard? And like Miss Lily said, U.S. Lily 80 said, defensive diaries are awesome. Boy, they is great. They one of them ones. And shout out to their daughter Cameron for the excellent cover she put on while they was doing what they did. Man, they're the truth. And shout out to Andrea Burkhardt. Love the beautiful Andrea Burkhardt. Man. And Jen, she say, I'm also unhappy with the facility to not secure weapons, which doctor says she didn't get collateral from the husband prior to discharges, led one to believe the house wasn't secured prior to the discharge. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So I heard Dr. Tubbs. I heard Dr. Tubbs saying she checked all this and what they saying, the patterns of this. Okay, Dr. Tubbs. In 4 months, you came up with she was all right. Dr. Tubbs. Oh, classic. This really pissed me off because remember that 19-minute great video you put out? Now on her, I think this next one, they finna talk about 17 minutes or something. Oh, this pissed me off. It made me go back to how the fuck could they say Richard Allen in his condition with that pacemaker, this dude having anxiety, being out of shape, was able to fucking do all that in fucking 19 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? Man, free Richard Allen, man.
Find out. Dr. Tufts also gave testimony about a couple of particular things that Lindsay said that are important for the prosecution.
That the baby needing more attention, other kids more challenging too. Is that coming from the patient?
Yes.
And does she also describe she's having trouble leaving the baby, too anxious to do anything when she leaves, physical tension, heart racing, worries he won't eat or sleep because he's refusing the bottle?
Yes.
And did she say that makes her irritable?
Yes.
And in that same note is where you detail that she denied audio hallucinations, visual hallucinations. You also, correct?
Yes.
And you also detail suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation, denies no concern about hurting baby. Is the no concern about hurting baby, is that an observation you're making or something that came from Ms. Clancy?
It came from our conversation.
Also, Lindsay was seeing a therapist, and this doctor had seen the notes from the therapist. And according to those notes, Lindsay said she would not let her in-laws watch the children.
Did she also say that she was not close with her in-laws who lived in Scituate? She would see them often as they were her husband's parents, but she didn't generally allow them to watch the children. Is that correct?
That's what I read.
And there's a quote in here, don't have a particular reason why they don't bug me about it either. Is that correct?
That's what I read.
That plays into the prosecution's argument that Lindsay was overly protective, that she was controlling when it came to her children. The prosecution is already trying to ward off what they know is coming, the cross-examination from Attorney Reddington representing Lindsay. We know that Patrick, Lindsay's husband, believes that the visits with this doctor, Dr. Tufts, were absurdly short at 17 minutes. Dr. Tufts has
So the prosecution trying to put out that she was overly protective of her kids. Who the fuck ain't? You two dummies, you two big old dummies. And prosecutors, who the fuck ain't? Right? Who the fuck ain't? Would you think why she wouldn't have no trust of the thoughts that she fucking having? Who the fuck ain't? And I got one son that's 4 years old. Hey, y'all look at this fresh cut. This from last week, but he got to get another one. Check him out. This shout out to Cameron. My son named Cameron, but everybody call him Cameron. Cameron from Defensive Diaries, because I'm with classes. She did an amazing job. But here go my son, young Cameron, with the fresh cut, though. Okay. I showed that just because I know my son handsome and shit. And, but the reason why I showed that is, why wouldn't you be overprotective of your child in any circumstance? Thank you so much, Miss Lily, Caitlin, everybody. And everybody last night who gave the compliments. Thank y'all so much. Why wouldn't you be overprotective of your kid? Don't you know what I would do to somebody if they show harm to him? That's not a threat. That's a motherfucking promise. Look at my son. So, listen to what I say. That's not a threat. That's a mother shut your mouth promise. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to curse. It's early. Thank you y'all so much for the compliment. That's a promise. Y'all understand that. So when they say she was protective of her kid, who the fuck ain't? Man, my big sister kids, damn near grown. I just, as the uncle, I be fucking with him. You don't think she be on her mama mode, in gorilla mode, knowing I'm just playing, but she still like that about her kids, even though I just be messing with them and playing with them. And like my nephew and stuff, be messing with him and shit. Yeah, he 4 years old. Yeah, like 4 hours ago, yeah. And I'm sorry, Miss U.S. Lily, I come on these particular times, but one thing, I had to do with, I got to get in where I fit in because, you got all the grace that come on, right? And just not trying to step on nobody, because it's just hard to come, like when they on, because you want to watch them and then you're going to do a show for what? Right? But yeah, who ain't gonna be overprotective of their kids? That's fucking dumb. That's fucking dumb. Dr. Tubby. You was with her for 4 months, doctor? Really? What was you doing them 4 months? This 17 minutes. Clark, you see why I'm pissed off? This 17 fucking minutes. Remember that beautiful 19-minute video they tried to say Richard Allen, which they fucking torturing in Indiana, which September the 21st is a huge day. So I need to make as much noise, and trust me, that video is coming next, right? Next live, right? Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Because this is how they did our veteran and Richard Allen. This is what they did to him. This what pisses me off. Look at him.
Oh, holy fuck. Bloody hell. Now there's a deterioration. Like...
That was after solitary confinement. Jesus. Jesus.
Did you see his eyes?
He looks... I want to say psychotic, which is actually probably accurate.
Which is probably accurate, yeah, for sure.
And I don't mean it in that flippant...
No, you mean psychosis, I know.
Jesus, that's so...
This is somebody who's broken. He's also got the eyes of somebody who doesn't know where he is or what's going on. That's just resigned to everything. Broken. Somebody who's broken, basically. You see this kind of behavior in prisoners of war, political prisoners. You saw this look in concentration camps. You see it in hostages, so this kind of thing.
He looks like, yes, a Belsen victim.
Yeah.
I'm almost in tears, Paul, that is...
Pull yourself together, huh?
I know, I'm trying.
Man, free Rick Allen, man. All these fucking bullshit ass stories changed. All these fucking people who was fucking criminals, who the fingers was pointing at, right? They didn't give two shits about them. It hurts me so much. And I say this every time to show this video. but it's necessary, right? Because this is a fight that we must fight for Rick Allen, not just him, for a lot of other people who get done like him, like the GOAT. It's necessary. They say doctors. They had him with the Walla bitch. They had him with the Tinky Winky flooded about the case. And that penguin looking fucking Judge Gull shit let the bitch get on the stand and testify when the bitch broke the rules looking into that fucking Keegan Michelin man fucking built Klein. You kidding me? I'm not playing about this shit. But these fucking highly paid fucking people who say they're doctors, they seen nothing. Well, Dr. Gohart, you didn't know shit. And then you got this woman and Dr. Tooby, Dr. Tubbs, whatever the hell your name is. Oh, you didn't see nothing but this 17 minutes. That's why I'm pissed off. Because I'm always thinking about 19 minutes now after seeing classic, beautiful video she put together of the 19-minute time frame. Drop classic. Drop her link in here, please. She is the truth at doing that. And please, everybody, go subscribe to her channel, man. She has been an angel on my shoulder in this Richard Allen case, right? From top to bottom. I'm not saying other people that helped me, but when I tell you 99% this woman, and I ask so many questions because y'all know I'm a blunder and stuff like that, right? Keep dropping it. Please go. I'm telling you, Classic has put out amazing work in this case. I mean, amazing. And that type of work deserves proper attention. She is great at what she do. And when I tell you her Picasso paintings that she put together are the truth, y'all know how I say truth, right? That's T-R-U-F, truth. She an OG crank. I'm a junior crank under her wing, right? And when I tell you, if from top to bottom, she has it covered. Amazing work. When I tell you her heart is gold, right? The energy she got for this case is like something I ain't seen. Shout out to the beautiful growth. I hope you and your boyfriend had a great time. Classic is the truth, y'all. I promise y'all that. She is the truth. Right? And she lead me the way. Right? Because y'all got to understand, getting in this case, it was a lot. So I had to ask her thousands of questions. Boy, and she was in my little shop of horror voice. Feed me, Seymour, feed me. And she kept feeding me and feeding me and feeding me until I understood, y'all. Because this case is mind-boggling looking at it from top to bottom. When I tell you she deserves that sub, I mean that. She deserves all the support. I mean that. Man, I love and respect you so much. Classic on this Richard Allen case. Your fight, your heart, your will. she got that I can't. She don't got that I can't and I quit mentality. Boy, she is like the lioness in the jungle when it comes to this. And trust me, when you hear her roar, she roar. Go look at them amazing video. I promise y'all. Please go look at them amazing videos. She tells the story. And that comes with these psychiatrists. Look who they had Richard Allen with. They had him with Walla, that hillbilly, tinky, winky, bad-built, smush-faced piece of shit bitch. And when I tell you, when Classic was breaking me down the story on this bitch, right? Because this goes into this. This is the doctor. This bitch who was fascinated by shit, true crime, all in the fucking timelines and all in the fucking chats and shit. This was a fascinated bitch, right? Who they let fucking destroy Richard Allen. Like, that bitch right there should be prosecuted to the fullest, right? And it goes to this. You got Dr. Gohart, who don't know shit. You got fucking Walla, this fake ass, whatever the fuck they say she is, the bitch who was doing, who broke the code on her job, and the penguin looking good shit, strong neck, 20 veins popping out of her neck, bitch, let her still testify. What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh, I'm tripping? Nah, we ain't tripping. We letting the truth come to the power and the power come to the truth. If you know how I say truth, hashtag and put it in the chat. Because that's how I'm coming, because this plays to what we're saying about these fucking doctors. And how that woman in Walla was with him every day, and his mother or Kathy had no fucking idea. And shout out to Kathy. Just know we with you. And you are a strong woman. Just know, I ain't gonna stop. A lot of people ain't gonna stop. You know, especially with, you know, me having all the people who know about the case, and you know, with Classic being an OG crank, you know, showing me the way. Like, that's just, I'm telling y'all, please. Go subscribe to Classic and go look at the origin of this bullshit, man. But it goes to who they had, and we look at these fucking doctors. Oh, okay, bro, she was with her for 4 months, 17-minute time frame. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's get into that real quick.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding. So the 17 minutes, I think people are looking at the note where it says a therapy start time of 10 a.m., a therapy end time of 10:17. So they're calculating 17 minutes. But those timestamps are specifically related to the therapy portion of the exam. They're not reflective of the complete duration of time when I met with her.
So what would be the complete time that you met with her on that day?
So I don't know the exact amount of minutes, but the appointments are 25-minute appointments. So it would be more or less a few minutes, about 25.
So these appointments that you had with Lindsay Clancy, when it says 17 minutes, that's the therapy, the talk portion of the appointment, and then there was a separate portion where medication was discussed?
Yes, in the real world, those two segments are intertwined.
And yet, for some reason, they were calculated separately. The actual time written down was 17 minutes. We'll see what Attorney Reddington does with that. But we did.
Damn. He couldn't object and say leading. Then she lead that, and I tell me I need to speak to Mo. All right. She led him into say, "Oh, y'all did them times different about the time." No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. About 25 minutes. No, give us the actual time. It say 17 minutes. 17 minutes. What were you doing? You thinking about going to get your nails done? Thinking about going to get your hair pressed? You thinking about going to your local bookstore to buy the new book that's on the New York Post? You know, the #1 bookseller. Was that what you're doing? 17 minutes. Excuse me? Oh, that goes back to that 19 minutes I'm talking about with Richard Allen, a dude who had something in his chest, a dude who had anxiety, a dude who smoked cigarettes. Think about that. Richard Allen smoked cigarettes too, and they said he did this in 19 minutes. Oh my. Wow. Wow. And remember, the doctor, the so-called bitch of a doctor like Classic said the fake Tinky Winky withheld all of Rick's possessions until she can get more consistency. You know what consistency means, right? She wanted him to lie. She wanted him to get that shit straight. Right. See, this bothers me. Like I told y'all, coming to this community, right, woke me up. The Go case, Karen Reed case woke me up. But seeing this case, how it was fully railroaded, and I mean, God damn it. I mean, when I say it's no reasonable doubt, we know Karen Reed didn't do it. We know that. And anybody who say that, well, okay, whatever. But there was more reasonable doubt there than in this Richard Allen case. Because you could think, oh, it was a possibility that she was drunk. Not saying the evidence was going to prove it. But I mean, when I tell you it was nothing in this, right? But the doctor, Waller, just like you got these bullshit ass psychiatrist doctors, right? You got these y'all bullshit people, right? Well, you know, y'all bullshit people who need to be reprimanded. And I can't wait to hear to cross. And we ain't done, but this 17 minutes, y'all see how that bothers me? And then it wasn't all time frames at the same time. Oh, so now you said the other 7 to 8 minutes was talking about messing. Get the fuck out of here. So that's it, 25 minutes? That sounds ignorant. A person who thinking like that only get 25 minutes. What can you get out in 25 minutes? I want the jury. Do they know how stupid that makes it sound? And if I'm a jury, I'm looking at that, right? Saying we do 25-minute visits for a person who's suicidal, for a person who said they was having thoughts of doing harm to their children. 25 minutes. But then you change it down to 17 minutes because you want to go get your Go-Gurt out the icebox, huh? You want to take a walk, your daily walk around, and says your exercise, huh, Dr. Tubbs? What's up with this 17 minutes? I don't respect it. I don't respect it because I can't wait for the defense. I think I might go live and cover that, but you know, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just doing my reactions because I love watching defensive diaries. All right, I love watching them. Love it. And this 17 minutes should bother everybody. Yeah, and Gross said if people don't understand what the case is truly about, they never will. Right? Facts. 17 minutes, huh? Let's hear this woman again.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding. So the 17 minutes, I think people are looking at the note where it says a therapy start time of 10 a.m., a therapy end time of 10:17. So they're calculating 17 minutes. But those timestamps are specifically related to the therapy portion of the exam. They're not reflective of the complete duration of time when I met with her.
So what would be the complete time that you met with her on that day?
So I don't know the exact amount of minutes, but the appointments are 25-minute appointments. So it would be more or less a few minutes, about 25.
So these appointments that you had with Lindsay Clancy, when it says 17 minutes, that's the therapy, the talk portion of the appointment, and then there was a separate portion where medication was discussed?
Yes, in the real world, those two segments are intertwined.
And yet, for some reason, they were calculated separately. The actual time written down was 17 minutes. We'll see what Attorney Reddington does with that. But we did.
I didn't catch that this ignorant ass doctor said in the real world it will be put down like that. Well, what world are you living in, Dr. Tubbs, whatever your name is? What world are you living in? You living in this same world? Oh, this ain't the real world. What you think, you're in the Matrix or something? And like Clay say, they do that probably to fit the most patients in a day for the bag, the money bag. If I ruled the world, imagine that. I'm getting money. You get it? I'm getting money. Well, that's dangerous right there. But that's a lot of truth to that, boy. She know her line ass road 10 to 10:17. It wasn't no other consultation after that. You probably didn't talk to her about half the stuff you saying. It's just she just such in a predicament, right? Her lawyer could just speak for her. Unbelievable. And then this broad say, in the real world. I can't get over that. Because I'm still trying to figure out what world is she living in. Did the jury hear that? In the real world. So you're a fake doctor, huh? In this little bubble, huh? Dr. Tubby. I free all my sons. I love them, baby. Oh, love. So you in this bubble. Huh? In the real world. So you telling us you in a fake world. You were in the world, right? Well, it's show me the money in my Jerry Maguire voice than doing your fucking job, huh, Dr. Tubby? What is this? The absolute audacity of you to say in the real world. Oh, defensive attorney Reddington is going to wipe the floor with this lady. In the real world, this is a real case, you ignorant ass doctor. Oh yeah, she sounds very condescending. If she's in the fake world, I want to be in the fake world then, right? Oh wow. She looked at the jury with them Beetleborg ass eyes and said, in a real world. The fuck is we living in? Oh my. All right, let's go to this next clip.
Does with that. But we did get one piece of evidence that was really important for the defense. And remember that the prosecution is saying that Lindsay made up this commanding voice that supposedly told her to kill her children and herself. But we got this third piece of evidence that Lindsay actually was at least having intrusive thoughts. We heard from her husband that she had talked about intrusive thoughts. We heard that from a friend of hers, and now we also heard it from this psychiatrist. To be clear, intrusive thoughts is not the same thing as a commanding voice, but at least it is in that direction. So it's important evidence that the defense is going to be using during the course of the case. The psychiatrist said that Lindsay said it was a feeling like, I'm going to die, not a commanding voice telling her to do that, but just a feeling. The witness did help the prosecution with the argument that they've been making about Lindsay shopping for doctors and meds. She said that Lindsay actually stated, I think it's my problem. I keep reaching out to different people and not sticking with the plan. The most dramatic part of the testimony came when the prosecution finally walked right up to the last day of treatment, because this psychiatrist saw Lindsay Clancy the day before all hell broke loose. This is critically important because this is a psychiatric professional who can talk about how Lindsay was behaving the day before the children were killed. She said that on January 23rd, Lindsay said she was anxious, but she was sleeping okay. And she said she was not suicidal, not homicidal. The doctor said she saw no signs of psychosis. But the doctor did say that Lindsay's insight was poor. That's a really important point for the defense, and I'm sure that it will be addressed in cross-examination. Now, the doctor went ahead and explained in advance what that meant to her and said that meant that Lindsay seemed to think that medications were causing her symptoms, when in reality, she was just plain depressed. The doctor did increase another medication. She said she had no reason, though, based on what Lindsay was saying, to believe that Lindsay was a danger to herself or to the children, and no grounds for filing a Section 12 to admit Lindsay for psychiatric care. And if that's the case, then the prosecution has made a huge stride toward proving that Lindsay was not actually psychotic when she killed her children, and that she should be held criminally responsible.
Oh, she was just playing. Oh, wow. Damn. Sound like another cover up in Massachusetts. Damn, Massachusetts, y'all need to do better. I mean, damn, the cover up is clear. It's clear. The mistakes are clear. The negligence is clear. Huh? The bullshit job that y'all did is clear. My class at Ray Ange from R&M Production. Shout out to Ange from R&M Production. She's a social worker and her mom's work with psychosis patients. Can't remember if she is a psychiatrist. Shout out to R&M Productions. Great work on Richard Allen too. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to her too. Right. She the truth too, like Classic. Classic, you could drop her link to R&M, Bugs and Keith, the Delphi. It's just a lot of people, you know. Right. And I'm pretty sure Classic will drop all them links as we go along through our videos to come. Right. She said, I won't say cover up simply because I don't think the police is covering anything up. The DA is, though. Yeah, and I wouldn't, necessarily, just saying the police, but yeah, the DA. Cover up. Another cover up. I mean, goddamn. Ray Charles could see this shit. Helen Keller, where you at? I know you could see this shit. It don't take, like, this is the most shit you could see in Massachusetts. What's popping? What's going on with y'all down there? Damn. Cross-examination gonna be tough on her, and I can't wait to see it. Because I can't wait to see the modest reaction. Bob and Ali are the best tag team duo. Oh my God, I enjoy myself. They're every time. Oh, wait. She never seen nothing. The other psychiatrist never seen nothing. Oh, you don't see something now? Because what happened? Oh, you see all the mistakes that y'all made? That's why y'all standing firm on the goofy shit that y'all saying don't stand? And like Steve said earlier with Dr. Gohart, waiting to get a comment from her, it was like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. So she could answer if she ever dealt with somebody in postpartum. What is this? Oh, wait. What happened to them children that we know she did was horrible, right? But what happened to her was just as horrible because the signs were there. And that hurt me to say that, but you have to tell the truth. The signs were there. And the negligence is just pouring down and it won't stop. I was wondering could I say that man to that because she doesn't look like a good heart. She definitely don't. She did. She was like Eddie Monster. It's unbelievable to see professionals who don't know shit. This shit right here hurt y'all. It just touched that spot again, like pouring salt on an open wound because it's opening up everything. I think about the doc. I can't stop thinking about that hillbilly looking bitch in Walla. And what she did to Richard Allen, man. Remember, he was like, I can't stop talking. It's somebody standing right here next to me. All the manufactured ass answers that they was pointing to or putting up their little board for him to read and say, come on, man. Oh, wait. This is what the tax dollars are getting spent on, y'all. I tell everybody, right, that that election coming up in Massachusetts, if everyone agree that Deitch is the guy, I hope Norfolk County show up and show out. I mean, everything we done seen. Your phone ring? we're gonna keep fighting. I promise you that, Classic. Everybody done seen what that bitch ass Morrissey, them bitch ass racist fucking cops, that racist out that like everybody know what they did. I sincerely hope Norfolk County show up and show out. Yeah, not tired. I'm just, just frustrated. With this, with Richard Allen, with the GOAT. So, let me play some, pretty kooky, blue curtains, all right? And everybody, if you want to support the channel, you see the Cash App across the top.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang.
And hold up, shout out to Pretty Kooky, man. Shout out to everybody on here. One that y'all know I appreciate y'all to the death of me. Like, real talk. I truly do. I want y'all to know that. Yeah, man. Let me turn it for y'all one more time. Oh, yes, she is, Lily. Yes, she is. Pretty Kooky is talented. Salute to Grove. Hope get that nail done. Glad your car got fixed. Shout out to you and your other half. And shout out to everybody, man. I just appreciate y'all so much. I want y'all to know that. Keep rocking with me, man. Shout out to the beautiful Classic. And everybody that was here, Kayla. Just everybody. I don't know, like I'm missing nothing. I love y'all to death, man. And I'll see y'all soon.
I'm not the one, yeah. I'm the right one, I'm the right one, yeah. I'm the right right one, yeah. On the 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 right one, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not the one, I'm the right one. I walk in like a bird, cold look, clear aim. You wanted smoke, I heard it. You talk big, all wordy, all bark, no bite. You can't win this fight. I seen your hand shake when the room got quiet. I don't need a threat, I bring it, then I write, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tick, tick, hear that whistle, step too close, get the missile. Blood in my eyes, stealing my jaw. Say my name once, then stand by the law. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. You came for when you left with none. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't just a crowd, I let them come. I stare hit hard like a loaded drum. You keep on talking, I keep on moving. Your chest gets loud, but your legs ain't proving. You want that title, you want that crown. I take one look and I shut it down. I cries when the flow gets mean. I came in clean, let the scene pristine. Tick, tick, hear that whistle, step too close, get the missile. Blood in my eyes, stealing my jaw. Say my name once, then stand by the law. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. You came for when you left with none. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't bend, I don't break, I don't flinch, I don't fake. Every shot you throw just feeds my pace. Every lie you spit, I put back in your face. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah. You came for when you left with none. On the right one, yeah. I'm not the one, yeah. On the right one, yeah, yeah.